From Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak, Alaska, it is game number 37, and the Chinooks come in rolling here. They have won 2 in a row last night. Grant Page with a little bit of an uneven start, allowing 6 earned runs, but the Chinooks bats came to play, and aided by errors in the field, they came out with a 10-7 victory over the Peninsula Oilers, and that was highlighted by 2 innings by Michael Fairchild, where he struck out 6 batters, allowing no hits. The only runner he allowed was on an error. So Michael Fairchild looking very impressive that night, but tonight, the man on the mound for the Chugiaki River Chinooks is Mr. Lucas Hamelink. Lucas from Hillsdale College had a little bit of a rough start this afternoon, but working with pitching coach and general manager Chris Beck, looks to get back on a winning track, locating his fastball low and away. And the big problem that we saw from him earlier was that it was just kind of getting a little too much high on that fastball. But without further ado, let's get to the starting lineups. Batting first and playing third base for the Chinooks, Patrick Cromwell. Batting second and playing center field, Dave Morton. Batting third and playing right field, Jacob Ropes. Batting fourth and playing left field, Cam Baronic. Batting fifth and catching will be Mr. Andrew Malik. Caleb Potter, the designated hitter, will be batting sixth. Will Bass playing second and batting seventh. The first baseman batting eighth, Mr. Braxton Wilkes. And in the 9-hole, your everyday shortstop, Mr. Hunter Hanks. And now for the Peninsula Oilers, batting first and playing right field, Brian Rum. Batting second and playing second, Alex Seifert. Batting third, the designated hitter, Mark Sanchez. Batting fourth and catching, Brent Diaz. Batting fifth and playing left field, Bennett Oliver. Batting sixth and playing center field, James Foltz. Batting seventh and playing first base, J.D. Arrowwood. Batting eighth and playing third base, Ted Bokey. And in the 9-hole and playing shortstop, Jimmy Gillespie. The pitcher for the Peninsula Oilers is West Virginia's Connor Dotson. So we are about ready to get underway here at Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak. The Chinooks going for their third straight here tonight. They come in with a record of 16-20. Now 17 wins would tie the single season win total for Chinooks baseball. First pitch from Lucas Hamelink is in there for a called strike against Brian Rum. Rum, the right fielder, awaits, and he cracks that one, foul down the first base line right to the Chinook dugout. Brian Rum on the year comes in batting .246. That's with 9 RBIs. He's also scored 16 runs at the team high for the Peninsula Oilers. Here's the 0-2. And swinging a miss, strike three to Lucas Hamelink sits him down. A swinging strikeout to start this ball game. So just like that, one up, one down. And that's going to bring up Alex Seifert. Seifert on the year, .233 batting average, 7 RBIs. He's scored 6 times. 3 extra base hits total on the year out of his 24 hits in general. First pitch from Lucas Hamelink, low and away, ball 1. The count, 1 ball, no strikes. Hamelink sets, delivers. Fastball right down the pipe, in there for a called strike 1. Evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Now defensively for the Chinooks, Patrick Cromwell at third, Hunter Hanks at short, Will Bass at second, Braxton Wilkes at first, Andrew Mogg catching. And that one's cracked into center field, coming under it. The center fielder, David Morton, makes the grab for out number 2. And in the outfield, like I just said, David Morton in center. Cam Baronic in left, and in right is Mr. Jacob Probst. I let Hamelink get Alex Seifert to fly out to center. So now 2 up, 2 down. That's going to bring up the designated hitter, Mark Sanchez. And there's a big third out here. Many will remember Hamelink only lasted 2/3 of an inning. In his last outing, that was against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. He made the first 2 outs, but then unfortunately allowed 6 runs and got pulled from that game before he could make the third out. It's actually just 1/3 of an inning. But Mark Sanchez popped fly ball into foul territory. Coming under it is Patrick Cromwell, makes the grab for out number 3. So a very impressive 1-2-3 inning for Lucas Hamelink. And the Oilers with no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard. Obviously, they went down 1-2-3. And now coming in for the Chinooks, batting in the bottom of this inning, we are still tied at 0-0. But the pitcher for the Oilers is going to be Connor Dotson. Now, Connor Dotson, he's pitched 31 1/3 innings. He's comes in with an earned run average of 3.73. That comes along with 13 strikeouts and 16 walks. And his overall win-loss record is 2-3. Dotson still yet to face the Chinooks this season. In his last outing, that was on July 20th against the Anchorage Bucks. He went 6 innings pitched, allowed no runs. None of them earned, obviously. Just 3 hits and 2 walks, struck out 2. But he's coming off a very impressive outing. Connor Dotson is, and he comes from West Virginia University, where he is teammates with the Chinooks' Caleb Potter.
Yeah, he's from Flower Mound, Texas. Same hometown as one Connor Wanhanen.
Hey, guy. Probably hitting just about as good as Connor Wanhanen is in this league. I kid. Connor Wanhanen's a dude.
Possibly.
Good guy. Good guy, Connor Wanhanen. Had the pleasure to meet him after, and actually going back to that Chinooks-Matsu Miners final game, you kind of saw there was a lot of love between these two teams, having played so many competitive, close games this season. A lot of guys have really gotten to know each other, just being around, running around the bases, and, you get your conversations in, trading baseballs and so on and so forth. But we head into the bottom of the first inning. The score is all tied up at 0. And the Chinooks coming up to bat for their first time today, and leading it off for the Fish is going to be Patrick Cromwell. Cromwell, the third baseman from Santa Ana, California. Santa Ana. First pitch from Connor Dotson. Cromwell cracks that one foul, and it's just going to fly right by the Chinooks dugout. No play there made by the left fielder, Bennett Oliver. Cromwell on the year, a 211 batting average, 10 RBIs. And he takes in there for a called strike. So with the foul ball, that brings it to 0-2. The count on Patrick Cromwell. The 0-2 pitch, and Cromwell grounds that one foul down the first base line, out of play. So staying alive in this at-bat. Cromwell yesterday took an 0 for 5. He struck out 3 times. And he takes upstairs there, brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dotson sets, and he delivers the 1-2, and Cromwell grounds that right back at Dotson. He can't make a play on it originally, but picks it up, throws it on over to first for out number 1. So 1 down for the Chinooks, and that's going to bring up David Morton. Morton comes into the game with a 303 batting average, 6 RBIs. He scored 8 runs. That's on 27 hits. Only 1 of them for extra bases, except for his 1 double and, of course, 1 home run. And that came against the Gold Panthers. So David Morton takes a called strike 1. And here comes the 0-1 pitch from Dotson, and Morton, big swing and a miss there. Goes behind in this count, 0-2. 0-2 pitch, and Morton pops that one up, foul ground, chasing it, the third baseman, Ted Bokey, but he's just going to watch it fly out of play. And foul balls here at Lee Jordan Field, brought to you by Gavin Reeb of Edward Jones Financial Investments. The 0-2 pitch, and Morton watches that one low. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dotson delivers, and Morton swinging a miss, strike 3. A rare strikeout for David Morton and Connor Dotson. 2 up, 2 down. It's going to bring up Jacob Brost. Brost, the Chinooks' current leader in batting average at .311. That's with 4 RBIs. Has as many hits as strikeouts. 28 hits, 28 strikeouts. First pitch to Jacob Brost, taken up and away, ball 1. One 0 pitch. That's on the outside again. So Jacob Brost getting ahead in this count. 2-0. And Brost has gotten approximately 14 times as many hits in this Chinook season than he has in his entire collegiate career at Ohio State. And Brost probably opening the eyes of his Ohio State coaches as he's going to compete for a spot in the lineup this year. His senior year with the Buckeyes. 3-0 pitch, and that one just to get me across pitches. Garrett likes to say it. The count goes 3-1. Still very much a hitter's count here for Brost. A guy who, has been a singles hitter for the Chinooks. Only 1 extra base hit on the season out of his 28 hits. And Brost fouls that one off down the first base line. Makes the count 3-2. Brost, 28 strikeouts. That's second on the team. Only to Will Bass, but he takes ball 4, trots on over to first, and the Chinooks have their first base runner of the game here with Jacob Brost, and that's going to bring up Cam Baronic. Baronic on the year, .269 batting average, 28 hits, 15 RBIs, and he has scored a team-high 20 runs. Where the Chinooks, Brost trying to steal a bag. He's down, and they say he is out at second base, so the Chinooks with no runs on no hits and nobody left aboard, and after 1 inning of play, we are all tied up at 0. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You are listening to Chinooks Radio. So back here for the top of the second inning. And Brent Diaz to lead things off for the Peninsula Oilers here against Lucas Hamelink, who put him down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. First pitch of the second inning from Hamelink. Grounded down the third base line. Patrick Cromwell picks it up, throws on over to first. Braxton Wilkes extends, makes the grab, and that is out number 1. Brent Diaz down on a 5-3 ground out, and that's going to bring up Bennett Oliver. Bennett Oliver comes into the game batting .224. 5 RBIs, 13 runs scored. And he shows bunt on the first pitch, but pulls back quickly as Hamelink goes inside and trying to keep Bennett Oliver on his toes. The 1-0 pitch here. Hamelink finds the strike zone there. Evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike. With 1 out here in the top of the second inning. Scoreless game between the Oilers and the Chinooks. Oilers lead the season series 3-1. The 1-1 from Hamelink finds the zone again. Fastball. Lower inside corner of the plate. So that moves the count to 1-2. Hamelink doing a very good job so far today of getting ahead in the count. 1-2 pitch, and that one's grounded hard, but foul down the first base line. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hamelink sets, and he delivers. Fastball just misses. And Garrett, is James Ainsworth at first base or home plate? Fantastic. The 2-2 pitch, and that's upstairs. Everyone's favorite umpire, James Ainsworth, at home plate. So 3 balls, 2 strikes the count with 1 down here. Hamelink sets, he delivers, and that's low and inside, ball 4. So the Oilers have their first base runner of the game with a walk of Bennett Oliver, and that's going to bring up James Folks. Folks has played in a team-high 31 games for the Oilers this season, and through 103 at-bats, he's batting .252. That's 14 strikeouts, or no, 14 RBIs, 32 strikeouts for the center fielder out of USC Upstate. And Folks showing bunt on the first pitch, but Hamelink goes way inside. Andrew Mock having to look like an acrobat out there. Folks from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. .1-0. And fastball finds the strike zone there. Evens the count up 1-1. Bennett Oliver taking his lead over at first, and Hamelink looks over, and he does the pickoff move, but not nearly in time. As Oliver was all over that one, went right back to first base. .1-1. And Folks lifts that one to deep center field. Chasing back is David Morton at the track, the wall, and makes the grab at the warning track for out number 2. James Folks putting a good barrel on it, but David Morton making the grab with a few steps left to go. So now J.D. Arrowwood to the plate with 2 down and a runner on first. First pitch, big swing and a miss there. Strike 1. Nothing in 1 the count. The pitch here from Hamelink, and that just missing on the outside. So the count, 1-1 with 2 down here. And calling time is the home plate umpire, James Ainsworth. One the count. Hamelink sets, delivers the pitch, and that one's cracked into left field. Chasing is Cam Baronic. Looks like it's going to go foul. Baronic making a dive into the Chinooks bullpen, but cannot make the grab. An effort play by Cam Baronic. Coming up short there. So the count goes to 1-2. With 2 down here, runner at first. A scoreless game at Lee Jordan Field between the Peninsula Oilers of Kenai and the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. One and two. Hamelink sets, delivers the pitch, and that one's lifted into deep center field. Dave Morton has room, and he is under it, makes the grab for out number 3. So the Oilers with no runs on no hits, 1 man left aboard, and we are in the middle of the second. And the score, still no score between the Oilers and the Chinooks, and Connor Dotson coming out for his second inning of work. So we're going to just step off for a second because, as you may remember, myself and Garrett both not feeling entirely too well in terms of a little bit of the common cold for us too, but we'll be back very briefly. So just hang tight, folks. You are listening to Chinooks Radio. And we are back here for the bottom of the second. Cam Baronic to lead things off for the Chinooks here against Connor Dotson. Baronic yesterday having a very impressive day. He was just a triple away from the cycle. Got his first home run of the year. 1-0 pitch to Baronic, and he grounds that one sharply to the first baseman, Aaron Wood, who takes it himself for out number 1. So Baronic down in the Chinooks. Still hitless against Connor Dotson.
Now batting from the Chinooks, number 10, Andrew Mogg.
So now Andrew Mogg to the plate. Mogg awaiting the first pitch in that one. A fastball right down the plate. Called strike 1. And actually, we're looking at the minor league scoreboard right now for the Pioneer League, a league that features Stephen Carkenny. And currently batting for the Grand Junction Rockies is Miles Jones. That's a name that Garrett will remember, last year's Gold Glove winner from the Peninsula Oilers. He's batting .345 in that league right now with the Grand Junction Rockies, the rookie league affiliate of the Rockies.
He was a fine prospect, and not surprised at all he decides to leave school a little early to pursue a professional baseball career. His brother has some filling out to do in terms of his body type, but he's got the height certainly to follow his brother into the major leagues yet again.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count to Andrew Mogg pitch, and Mogg grounds that one into the gap in right field. A base hit. Andrew Mogg with the first single of the day for the Chinooks, and now the Chinooks with a man on first and 1 down. And Caleb Potter is going to go up and face his West Virginia teammate Connor Dotson.
Batting for the Chinooks, number 32, Caleb Potter.
First pitch to Potter. And that one's upstairs, ball 1. Potter on the year, 190 batting average, 7 RBIs. He had a double yesterday. And Connor Dotson very close to picking off James Folks there. But the first baseman, J.D. Arrowwood, couldn't hold on to the ball. But a runner on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, still scoreless. And Potter swings and misses there. And you'd think this was, you'd think a matchup like this between two teammates, does that favor the pitcher or the batter?
Well, to me, I would give the pitcher the edge every time just because they know what's coming. Yeah, they know how to face these guys. I mean, they kind of know their weaknesses just because being teammates. But at the same time, you don't know what guys are struggling with, in terms of their approach at the plate. When we haven't played with them for a couple months yet. But certainly stuff like that. If you give me the best pitcher in the league versus the best hitter in the league, automatic to the pitcher just because they have the power. They have the control.
And Dotson plunks Caleb Potter right in is it the shoulder or the chin?
Yeah, might have gotten him near the hands.
And they're kind of just looking at each other. And Potter just trots on over to first. That was a really awkward moment.
Interesting exchange between him and James Amesworth. He didn't know if it got him, if it was hit the bat or not, but it came up and in towards the hands, towards the shoulder, and Caleb just gives him the old point in the head nod on his way to first base. So pretty interesting little moment right there.
Yeah, that was a funny thing, and you actually could hear Caleb Potter's mom yell, "Come on, Connor." So Caleb Potter after the hit by pitch over at first, Andrew Mogg over at second, 1 down. Will Bass at the plate.
I can relate with him because I've actually been hit by a teammate in fall ball once. Me and one of my very, very good friends, and actually I ended up being a roommate with him in college, and we were playing in the same fall league on different teams, and he pitched but didn't pitch much, and came inside the first pitch. Second pitch got me right in the back.
First pitch to Will Bass, and Bass fouls that one towards the Oiler dugout. Of course, that's how the Potter's been hit by a teammate here. And this is a funny, interesting little story. Before the home run derby, when Chris Beck announced that Potter would be representing the Chinooks in the home run derby, myself and Lucas Hamelink and Caleb Potter came out here to take some practice swings for Potter, as he would go into the derby, practicing that home run swinging. Second pitch that Hamelink throws to him hits him right in the face. And Potter had a huge, bump on his mouth. Looked like he had a wad of tobacco in for about a week. But the count 0-1 to Will Bass. First pitch, and that's inside. It's actually not the first pitch. That's the second pitch, and it's going to even the count up 1 ball, 1 strike. Sorry, I have to get my computer charger here. That's the catcher. Brent Diaz just went out and had a word with Connor Dotson. Keep his nerves down. Dotson in a little bit of trouble here. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out here. Runners at first and second. Braxton Wilkes on deck if this inning can continue. 1-1, and Will Bass lines that one into the gap, a base hit. Andrew Mogg goes to third, but he'll get held up there. But now the Chinooks with the bases loaded and 1 out, Braxton Wilkes coming to the plate.
Good piece of hitting by Will Bass, who's been out of the lineup for a few days, battling a little bit of a stomach bug, but now a bases loaded opportunity for Braxton Wilkes, a guy that had 2 hits and 2 RBIs yesterday. And as Braxton hits right now, we would just want to send a little bit of a birthday shout out to Braxton's mom, Kim. I'm sure she's turning 23 today.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Wilkes. But the count, all even 0-0. Bases loaded, one out here in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch to Braxton Wilkes, and that misses on the outside. The count 1-0. And, of course, Braxton's parents, we had the chance to meet them, and just such great people. Kimberly and Lewis Wilkes from Houston, Texas-ish, I think, right?
Sugarland.
And Braxton pops that one up, a deep fly ball into left field. Oliver under it, and Andrew Mogg's going to tag up from third, and they're not even going to throw it home. So the Chinooks, a sacrifice fly off the bat of Braxton Wilkes, scores Andrew Mogg, and the Fish take a 1-0 lead here. So Braxton's birthday present to his mom and RBI. And now that's going to bring Hunter Hanks to the plate. Hanks on the season, he's batting 186. That's 19 hits over 102 at-bats. He has 8 RBIs. He's been hit by 2 pitches. Fun stat of the day. And actually, Caleb Potter, he got hit by a pitch earlier. That's the 5th time he's been hit by a pitch all season. He has the most hit by pitches and almost the least at-bats. I think he has 1 more at-bat than Tyler Boxwell for lowest on the team, but
outside of Luke Eichstein with 2.
Yeah. It's a pitcher.
That should go up by the end of the year, I would expect.
Yeah, well, about 5 games left, and you figure that you got to get Eichstein a few more chances at the plate. So the count 1-1 to Hunter Hanks. The pitch, and Hanks taking on the outside. Breaking ball just misses. Brings the count to 2-1.
Also, our last game with standing head coach Taylor White for the moment. Taylor will be heading home.
Crutch 2016. That's all I got to
That's
say.
right.
Now, we'll miss Taylor. Taylor's the man. And
Already missing Jordan Vieira.
Yeah, Hanks pops that one up. Under it, the first baseman, J.D. Arrowwood, makes the grab, and that is out number 3. But the Chinooks, with 1 run on 2 hits and 2 men left aboard, and after 2 innings of play, the Fish have a 1-0 lead over the Kenai Peninsula Oilers. Do not go back. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are back here for the top of the 3rd inning. Andrew Alex is alongside the Garrett Mansfield, and the Chinooks have a 1-0 lead over the Kenai Peninsula Oilers. Lucas Hamelink out for his 3rd inning of work, and he's set to face Ted Boakey. First pitch to Ted Boakey, missing on the outside. The count 1-0. Boakey on the season. There's a couple of home runs. Make that 3. That's a league leader. Or at least last time I checked. Evens the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike there with a foul ball. A beautiful evening here in Chugiak. A little overcast skies. But you can still see that beautiful view of the mountains. And that is a view that I will be sorely missing this winter. Don't get views like that in New Jersey, let me tell you. 1-1. And Boki rips that one into left field for a base hit, his first hit of the day, and the first hit for the Peninsula Oilers. And now the Oilers with a man on first and nobody out for Jimmy Galuski. Galuski, I should say.
Batting before the Oilers, number 18, James
Galuski,
Galuski.
West Virginia University. He's teammates with Caleb Potter. They're actually roommates back at school. Galuski on the season, a .211 batting average. His 109 at-bats is tops on the Oilers team. Actually second to Brian Rum. He has 11 RBIs, 23 hits, 2 of them for extra bases. Big pickoff attempt there from Lucas Hamlinck, not in time. And for Hamlinck, it's key to avoid the big inning. That has been his Achilles heel all season. First pitch. Hamlinck finds the strike zone there. Fastball. One on, nobody out. Nothing in one the count here in the top of the third inning. The Chinooks lead 1-0 over the Oilers. Hamlinck with another pickoff attempt, and that one just not in time. And the fans kind of oohing and eyeing at that one. A very close call over at first base. So we're just back to 0-1. Excuse me. If you heard that, I sneezed. The show must go on, as they say in show business. And yeah, pretty much. The Oilers have granted 24 double plays this year, and the double play ball, a huge aspect of the Chinooks game. 0-1, and Galuski fouls that one off the mask of catcher Andrew Mogg. Brings the count to 0-2 here against Jimmy Galuski. Only one hit so far today for the Oilers off Lucas Hamlinck. The 0-2 count. Hamlinck sets, delivers, and that's fouled down the first base line, chasing Braxton Wilkes. He's going to go to the fence, and he's just going to watch it go. An effort move by Braxton Wilkes, but nothing to show for it. The count's going to stay at 0-2. Lucas Hamlinck, a 5.34 ERA on the season through 32 innings pitched. He struck out 21. So Galuski back into the box. The count 0-2. Hamlinck sets, delivers the pitch, and that was almost like a pitch out. It was a pitch out. The 1-2 count. Another pickoff attempt. And Hamlinck, probably more than anyone else on the Chinooks roster, just very, very conservative with runners on base. And he has probably tried to pick off the guy at first like 15 times. Hamlinck, the 1-2 count, the pitch, and the runner goes. But Galuski fouls that one off, and the count's going to stay at 1-2. And with that runner having gone, Hamlinck probably going to be even more conservative. And the runner at first with a big smile on his face. 1-2 pitch, and Goluski pops that one up deep left field, but not enough on it. Baronic makes the grab, and that is out number 1.
Well, Boki is getting an earful from his bullpen. I think the Seagulls in Finding Nemo make less noise than the Oilers bullpen.
Oh, yeah. And I remember back in Kenai, the Oilers bullpen, the Chinooks bullpen, having a lot of fun doing the wave and stuff. Memories. So the count back at 0-0 for Brian Rum, the right fielder, and Rum swings at the first pitch into right field, a pop fly. Probst dancing around under it, and that is out number 2. So Jimmy Goluski's at bat took about an hour, and Brian Rum took about a second. But that is 2 outs, and now with 2 down and a runner at first, it's going to be Alex Seifert to try to keep this inning alive for the Peninsula Oilers. Seifert, he flew out to center his first time up. And a pitch out there. Yeah, they are just really tearing up Ted Boki, the Oiler bullpen.
First base coach is in on it now, too.
Yeah, like the first base coach just cracking up. 1-0, and the pickoff attempt there from Hamelink, not in time. You just got to give him the right hook. This is just classic stuff, folks. So 1-0 the count to Alex Seifert, and the runner goes. The throw from Andrew Mogg. Please get him, and he is gone. He got him at second base. And the Oilers bullpen now all standing up. And Ted Boki gunned down at second base for out number 3. So the Oilers, no runs on 1 hit and nobody left aboard. And we are midway through the 3rd inning. A 1-0 game in favor of the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. And let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. At Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, the Matsu Miners hold a 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. That's in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And at Mulcahy Field in beautiful downtown Anchorage, the Bucks leading the Gold Panthers 1-0, and the Bucks getting very close to clinching that American League here in the Alaska Baseball League. But we're just going to step off for another half a second because, I'm still sick. It didn't change. So don't go anywhere. You are listening to Chinooks Radio.
Batting the Fort George Chinooks, number 8, Patrick Cromwell.
So to the bottom of the 3rd inning we go. Patrick Cromwell to the plate. The Chinooks with a 1-0 lead. And Cromwell going right after the first pitch and colliding at third base is the shortstop, Goluski, and the third baseman, Ted Boki. But Boki still able to make the grab. That's out number 1. So call it an F5. So now Dave Morton back to the plate. Morton went down swinging his first time up, only his 5th strikeout of the year. Came into this game batting .303. First pitch to Morton. And Morton taking in the zone. I called strike. Jacob Brost on deck. Morton from Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio. And Morton taking on the inside. Ball 1. Gives the count up. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Chinooks lead 1-0. trying to pick up their third straight win of the season. And Morton lifts that one into left field, but it's going to hook, foul, and drop. So it's going to move the count to 1-2. One ball, two strikes. The pitch. And just missing on the outside there is Dotson. A good eye there by David Morton. Evens the count up 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. The pitch, and that one's on the inside. Ball 3. So the count goes full on David Morton, a guy who came into this game batting .303, and the catcher have to have a word with Connor Dotson. Dotson's allowed 2 hits to the Chinooks, both of them coming in the second inning off the bats of Andrew Mogg and Will Bass. It was a sacrifice fly from Braxton Wilkes that put the Chinooks in the lead. The 3-2. And Morton rips that one foul down the third base line out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored by Gavin Reeve of Edward Jones Financial Investments.
So back to 3-2 we go. Delivers, and that one's upstairs. Ball 4. David Morton trots on over to first with a walk, and now the Chinooks with a runner on and 1 out for Jacob Brose.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 23, Jacob Brose.
Brose, 311 on the season. He walked his first time up. 1-0 the count to Jacob Brose. The pitch. A big swing and a miss there. Evens the count up 1 ball, 1 strike. And that pitch missing on the check that hit the zone. Moves the count to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch, and that one's upstairs. He does the count up 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two. In there for a called strike 3. So that's out number 2. Jacob Brose goes down looking. The second strikeout of the day for Connor Dotson. And now Cam Baronic to the plate with a runner on first. 2 outs. The Chinooks with a 1-0 lead over the Peninsula Oilers. And Garrett was saying to me earlier, just about 1 start left for every Chinooks pitcher you'd figure. 1 for Menez, 1 for Braxton. Get Ted Christie in for 1, and who else would it be? Fairchild, yeah. Because the Chinooks with only 4 games remaining after today. And Baronic swings and misses there. The count 0-2. Hard to believe how quickly this season has gone by. Just the mere thought of never playing the Matsu Miners again this season makes me a very happy man. 0-2, and Baronic swing and a miss, strike 3, and that retires the side. The Chinooks with no runs on no hits and 1 man left aboard, and after 3 innings of baseball, the Fish hold a 1-0 lead over the Oilers. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're listening to Chinooks Radio.
We move on to inning number 4. The Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks leading the Peninsula Oilers of Kenai 1-0 in a game that had the bases loaded, 1 out for the Chinooks in the bottom of the second inning. And Braxton Wilkes with the sacrifice fly to bring in the lone run of the ball game. Lucas Hamelink facing Alex Seifert. Mark Sanchez, Brett Diaz to lead off this inning, and his first breaking ball of the inning misses downstairs for ball 1. Alex Seifert from Jacksonville University. And he's from Lakeland, Florida. That's where the Tigers single A affiliate, the Lakeland Flying Tigers, are located. That's inside from Hamelink again. Goes to 2-0.
And the Flying Tigers, formerly just known as the Lakeland Tigers, but for whatever reason, they had to add flying the name.
I know a reasoning for that, and for whatever reason, it's escaping me. It has something to do with aviation. 3-0 is the count. My grandparents live in Lakeland. I'm sure if I asked my grandfather, he could easily dissect that for me. But 3-0 to Seifert. That's inside corner from Lucas Hamelink. That's strike 1. That's Seifert, a Jacksonville Dolphin. Played in 37 games as a sophomore. Hit .245. Hitting .233 with the Oilers. And Hamelink misses just a bit inside to Seifert, and he'll go to first base to walk, leading off the inning for the Oilers. That brings up the Sanchez, as Mark Sanchez was just a double shy of the cycle last night in an offensive blow-up between these two teams. Here's Lucas Hamelink to face him. Righty-lefty matchup. It's downstairs for ball 1. Hamelink got him to fly out to end the first inning. Sanchez hitting 6 of now 13. Just below 500. Just his 5th game with the Oilers. And that the pickoff is going to be low. Throw to first base, and the runner Seifert knocked it down. Saved the error. 1-0 the count still against Sanchez. Sanchez coming from Cal Baptist, where he is teammates with Brian Room. And then, of course, the Bucks. Andy Crowley from 2014, then Jeremy McDonald, Stephen Lohr. All Cal Baptist Lancers. Here's the 1-0, swing and a miss by Sanchez. Evens the count up at 1-1. Cal Baptist, they're in the same conference as Hawaii Pacific, Azusa Pacific, Point Loma Nazarene. That's the Pac West in Division II. Another pickoff move to first, back safely. A Division II competition, same as Lucas Hamelink at Hillsdale College. In the GLIAC, soon to be moving to the GMAC starting in 2017. Here's the 1-1 outside, 2-1. Hamelink, teammates with Shane Armstrong. Played in Xenia a summer ago. And now he's moving up the AIA ladder, playing in the Alaska League. He'll be a senior next year. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Hamelink. Breaking ball swung on, fouled back at us. Moves the count to 2-2. And Lucas looking to end the season strong and had a very good start to his season. But his last couple times out have been forgettable. Of course, the 1 out that he recorded on July the 22nd against the Pilots. That was his last start. Gave up 5 runs. That was all 5 runs in the game. The Chinooks were still in that ball game. 2-2, and Sanchez fouls that one off. Third base side out of play. And he has been very, very good, most effective in terms of the Chinooks coming out on top after the ball game is over. When he allows 3 runs or less, all 3 of his losses, he's allowed at least 4 runs, which isn't much, but in a league that doesn't have a lot of offense this year, that's been huge. Another pickoff move, but he's back 2-2 against Mark Sanchez, a runner at first, and Seifert. He walked to lead off the inning. 1-0 Chinooks on top. Just 3 hits combined in this one. Here's the 2-2 to Sanchez. He flies this one over the third base dugout of the Chinooks again, moves the count to remain at 2-2. The Chinooks enter play just 4 games under 500. With 5 games left on the schedule, they will need to win out to finish above 500. They cannot win the season series against the Oilers. Already 3 wins in Kenai for the Oilers to clinch it. That's fouled right back at us. Andrew jumps out of the box.
Yep. Highly scared.
Staying at 2-2.
You know, it's just because of my cold, I feel like my reaction time is just a little bit like, I can't get any more hurt. Still got baseball to play here, Garrett.
So still a 2-2 count against Sanchez. The Peninsula Oilers also losing ground on their division. Sanchez turns and rocks this one deep right center. That's going to get down inside the line for extra bases. On his way to third is Seifert coming around third, going to try to score, and he'll do so. The throw is up the line, and in with an RBI double to tie the ball game is Mark Sanchez.
And Mark Sanchez continues to beat up the Chinooks. It was the home run yesterday. You know, like you said, he was what was he, a double away from the cycle yesterday? And now starting his day off now with a game-tying RBI double. Sanchez continues to do damage.
Still nobody out here in the top of inning number 4. First real good contact against Lucas Hameling tonight. That'll bring up Brent Diaz. He grounded out his first time around. Righty-righty matchup here. Hamelink is ready from the stretch. Fires home. Breaking ball hits the inside part of the plate for strike 1. As I was touching on, ground quickly shrinking beneath the feet of the Oilers. They trail the Anchorage Bucks by 4 games in the American League of the ABL. They'll have just 7 games remaining after tonight's contest with the Chinooks. All of them will be at home, however. They'll play the Gold Painters for 4, and then the Miners go to Kenai for 2 to end the season. Here's the 1-0, and actually the 7 includes tonight. That's a low and away. 1-1. But for the Anchorage Bucks, they'll have 6 games left after tonight's doubleheader with the Fairbank with the Alaska Gold Painters. They will have 1 with the Miners, and that's sharply hit through the hole on the left side of the infield. A base hit for Diaz. Into third is Sanchez. So first and third, with nobody out for the Oilers. And now Bennett Oliver to the plate.
Now Shane Armstrong warming up in the Chinooks bullpen.
He hasn't worked since Hamelink's last start 5 days ago. So it'd be normal time for him as well. He basically had a start. But as we said,
and an impressive one at that.
But the Bucks will have 1 game with the Miners, 2 with the Chinooks on Wednesday and Thursday, and 3 in Mulcahy with the Gold Painters again. The Painters already finished at home, that is. So the rest of their games are on the road, of course, with the Oilers and the Bucks. But for the Oilers, it's basically every night's going to be a must-win. They already trail the Bucks by 4 games in that division. The Miners already locking up home field advantage throughout the top of the World Series, where all those games will be played at Herman Brothers Field. So now Hamelink, after getting a quick visit from Chris Beck, he'll be back out there to face Bennett Oliver. Double play in effect, infield. Corners pinched in. A runner goes, throw down to second is not in time. A steal of second for Diaz. Holding tight at third base is Sanchez, and a lot of times first and third will be a time where they steal the runner at first base. They get caught in a rundown to allow the runner at third to score, but they're not going to take that chance with the slim opportunity they might be able to score again. Downstairs, 2-0 moves the count against Bennett Oliver, who walked his first time up. Only has 5 RBIs, but he has 12 doubles this year. 1-1 ball game. We're in the top of inning number 4. The Chinooks and the Oilers. Fish had a 1-0 lead coming into this inning. The Oilers with 2 more in scoring position. Already 1 home in this inning. Here's the 2-0 and a high pop-up on the infield, and it will bend out of play behind us.
NFL ball sponsored by Gavin Reed with Edward Jones Financial Investments.
The Chinooks got their 1 run at the bottom of the second on a sac fly with the bases loaded from Braxton Wilkes. Then Alex Seifert led off this 4th inning with a walk, came around on a Mark Sanchez double. And then Brent Diaz singled him over to third base, and then he stole second. 2-1 to Bennett Oliver. He takes that outside, 3-1. So Hamling having to make an adjustment here mid-inning to work around these guys who he had no problem the first time through the order. Here's the 3-1, and Oliver hits this one in the air, sky high, deep center field. Back is David Morton in front of the warning track, makes the grab. Both runners will tag in advance, and it is now 2-1 Anchorage Peninsula Oilers. So give Bennett Oliver his 6th RBI. Now just a runner at third base with 1 out for James Foltz. Foltz playing center field, has a fly out to center, his 1 time up, hitting .252 for the Oilers. And Foltz, big swing and a miss. Enough to carry him out of the batter's box to the first pitch from Hamling. 1 down, 2-1. Oilers on top of this one. We are in the top of inning number 4. Last night's ball game. Just a back and forth affair. Breaking ball from Hamling, missing inside. Several lead changes throughout yesterday's ball game. Already have 1 in this one. That pitch just missing from Hamling. James Foltz, 14 RBIs for the Oilers this season. Here's the 2-1. At the letters, that's a strike. Another breaking ball from Hamling. Locating those pitches very well today. But the Oilers have taken 2 runs here on the top of the 4th inning and now have a 2-1 lead. Here's the 2-2 from Hamling. In the dirt, blocked by Mogg. Runs the count full to James Foltz. Hamling coming set. Here's the payoff pitch. And Foltz will take that inside for ball 4. 3rd walk of the day, 2nd of the inning for Lucas Hamling.
Looks like this is going to be it for Hamling.
And yeah, Taylor White will call time and come out to the mound, making the slow walk. Hasn't made the indication just yet, but Shane Armstrong is on his way to the mound, and Taylor White will take the baseball. So that'll be all for Lucas Hamling, but a very strong start through his first 3 innings, holding the Oilers to just 2 runs on the scoreboard so far. But Shane Armstrong going to be tasked with holding that lead at 2-1. We'll be right back after this pitching change for the Chinooks. Shane Armstrong, the new pitcher on the hill for the Jugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Armstrong in relief for Lucas Hamelink, who goes 3 1/3. Just 3 hits, 3 walks, and so far just 2 runs. Pickoff move to first is not in time to get James Folks, who's over there. Brent Diaz, the runner at third base for the Oilers. Already 2 runs home, just 1 out in this inning. Armstrong looking in. He's ready. Another throw over is not in time. Armstrong is 2-1 this season, a 2.39 ERA, over 26 plus innings of work. He has struck out 19, walked 16. He has made a couple of starts also. Here's his first offering to J.D. Arrowwood, and he swings right over that one to go down 0-1. Shane did not pitch against the Oilers when these two teams were in Kenai, but the last time out, Shane went 4 2/3 innings of work, giving up 4 hits, 5 strikeouts. Throws over to first again. It's not in time, keeping the runner close. Shane has been one of the more solid arms out of the pen. Number 5 on the team in ERA. And we're going to get a quick time call over at first base, folks. After diving back to first, has to make a quick adjustment. 0-1 against Shane Armstrong as he faces J.D. Arrowwood, playing his 8th game for the Oilers, hitting just 3 of 24 at the plate. 0-1, just a bit outside. Breaking ball, tried to backdoor him. Shane with a long look in. Now he comes set at the belt, checks the runner at third, comes to the plate, breaking ball on the ground to second base. Gonna be slow to get a double play, but Will Bass makes the play cleanly and throws on to first base to get the only out he'll be able to get. But Arrowwood picking up an RBI, his first this season, on the ground out to second. So the second out of the inning. On his way to second is James Folks. And now it's a 3-1 game in favor of the Oilers. Third run charged to Lucas Hamelink. And now Ted Boki will hit. As 1 hit already today, Armstrong delivers, and Boki with a high pop-up, shallow left field going out as Hunter Hanks, the shortstop, but coming in and calling him off is the left fielder Cameron Baronic, and he makes the grab to retire the side. So the Oilers get 3 runs on 2 hits in this inning and leave 1 aboard, and now have a 3-1 lead. As we head to the middle of the 4th inning, we're going to step aside, take a quick break here in more Chinooks baseball coming right around the corner. Andrew Mogg, Caleb Potter, Will Bass will lead off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Chinooks. Moggy, already a hit in this one, came around and scored the lone run for the Chinooks. The Fish down 3-1 now in this contest. Connor Dotson, in his 4th inning of work, winds it up, and his first offering is right down the center to Mogg, as he will take all the way. Mogg hitting .238 coming into play, leads the team in home runs. Hits this one hard down to shortstop. Galuski has it. The throw on the first is in time, so one away to begin the inning. So Dotson off to a better start than his counterpart, Lucas Hamelink, who officially is now has gone 3 1/3, 3 runs on 3 hits, 3 walks. And now Shane Armstrong coming in relief. Lucas in line for the loss. Here's Caleb Potter, takes first pitch downstairs, ball 1, got hit by his teammate Connor Dotson at West Virginia. His first time around. Potter will stand in there, hitting from the right side. Here's the 1-0 inside corner for a strike. Coming inside to him. Potter, the home run king of the Alaska Baseball League this season. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and he bangs that ball foul to the third base side. Goes to 1-2, keeping the trophy with the Chinooks and with the Mountaineers as Jackson Kramer and that's going to be right back up the middle. So Potter will get a little bit of payback with a solid single to center field. Now and Caleb was all over that one.
That's one of the best contact hits we've seen with Caleb Potter all season long, really.
And he has
stroked that one.
He has had his struggles, but really starting to come along in the last week plus. First offering to Will Bass is in the zone for a strike. Will with a single. His last time around. Here's the 0-1, a swing and a miss from Will Bass. And Jackson Kramer, noting on him, last season playing with the Chinooks, and he's in the New England Collegiate League this year. He does have 2 home runs, hitting .206, so a little bit of a down summer from Kramer after having a tremendous year in Alaska last year. Will Bass fouls the 0-2 off. Here's the 0-2 to Will Bass. He hits that one on the ground. The first, Arrowwood has it, steps on second, or on first for 1, the relay, and they'll get Potter on the tag to retire the side. An inning-ending double play, the 3-6 variety, and that'll retire the Chinooks in the bottom of the 4th. So after 4, the Chinooks are trailing 3-1 to the Oilers. We'll be right back with more Alaska Baseball League action. Shane Armstrong is Jimmy Galuski to fly out to center. And then a swing and a miss from Brian Room. And then he goes down low with a ball. So we're evened up. 1-1. 1 out. We're in the top of inning number 5. Oilers on top of the Chinooks by a score of 3-1. Room with another swing and a miss. As Shane Armstrong fires that one home outside, missing 2-2. Armstrong on in relief for Lucas Hamlin, giving up the 3 runs by the Oilers. Here's the 2-2, and Room swings and misses. First strikeout of the evening for Shane Armstrong. Second out of the top of the 5th to bring up Alex Seifert, who's got the 4th inning rally started with a leadoff walk against Lucas Hamling. And he pops the first pitch he sees out to right field. Coming in is Jacob Brobst, and he makes the first catch to retire the side. So a 1-2-3 inning from Shane Armstrong brings us to the middle of the 5th, halfway home in this one. And on that, we'll take a look at the Alaska Baseball League scoreboard. The out-of-town scores: 3-0 Matsu Miners at Herman Brothers Field over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Glacier Pilots flying high after the All-Star break, winning 3 against the Chinooks. And they have not lost a game since then. So 3 straight victories for them. And now they've gone up and played in Fairbanks, won all their games up there as well. And so 5 in a row up against the division champs, Matsu Miners. And the Alaska Gold Panthers trailing the Anchorage Bucks in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Glacier
in the
Pilots.
first half of a doubleheader between the Panthers and the Anchorage Bucks. The Bucks have a chance to put a solid, what could be a 4 or could be a 5.5 game lead, potentially 6.5, depending on the outcome of this one at the end of play today.
Glacier Pilots, talk about getting hot at the wrong time. The moment they got mathematically eliminated, they have not lost since then.
Braxton Wilkes the lead off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Chinooks. Sacrifice fly his last time around. He's 3 RBIs, all coming in the last 2 days. 2 hits, 2 RBIs yesterday against the Oilers. Here's the first offering. Squares the bunt, pulls back, and that's high, ball 1. The Chinooks are looking for their first 3-game winning streak since July 7th through the 9th. And that's a high pop-up, shallow center, going out to the second baseman, Seifert. And calling him off is the center fielder, James Folks, and he makes the catch for out number 1. That'll bring up number 9 hitter, Hunter Hanks. Last time the Chinooks won 3 straight. They beat the Pilots, the Panthers, and the Miners on consecutive days after being swept by these very Oilers in Kenai. The starting pitchers for those 3 games: Grant Page on the 7th, Luke Eichste on July 8th, and then Connor Menez with a gem on July 9th. 1-0 missing outside to Hunter Hanks, 1 gone for the Chinooks in their half of inning number 5.
It's hard to believe that was 20 days ago that the streak started. Seems like just yesterday.
Outside strike 1. Honestly, I don't remember it. Can't believe this team won 8 straight. That was a long time ago. 1-1. A lot of losses in between. Here's the 1-1 for a strike.
Sound like a negative Nancy, but it's true.
Well, I mean, that's the one thing. That's the challenge for broadcasters, is especially when you work with one team, you gotta try to spin things in a positive light, but you gotta be honest at the same time. 1-2, and Hanks goes down swinging for the second out of the inning. And it's really easy to be a really good broadcaster and a fan and a really good baseball player when you're winning a lot of games. But, the true test of it comes out in years like this. But the Chinooks, a vastly improved club from this year to last year, and have a shot at an over 500 record when the end of the year comes calling, but they would have to win out. Ball one to Patrick Cromwell downstairs. Cromwell, who is playing very well in the month of July and has his batting average to over 200. 0 for 5 last night, 0 for 2 already today. Missing upstairs, ball two is Connor Dotson. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Peninsula Oilers. A run on 3 hits for the Chinooks. A common occurrence. They don't have any problem out hitting teams. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2-1 count against Cromwell. It's been scoring runs. Here's the windup. The 2-1. That's on the ground, right back to the mound. Dotson snagged it. Underhand flip to first base is in time, and that's the end of the 5th. So after 5 innings of play, the Chinooks 1 and the Oilers 3. We'll be right back with more Alaska Baseball League action. Mark Sanchez to the plate. He'll lead off the 6th inning against Shane Armstrong. Sanchez, he's been the man in this Oilers lineup. He goes swinging his first time against Shane Armstrong. He doubled home a run to get the Oilers on the board in the 4th. Ended up scoring the go-ahead run. There's a strike. The 2nd against him.
He ran homer on his birthday.
0-2 going away. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Blocked by Monk. He'll step outside of the first baseline and throw to first to complete the strikeout for the first out of the top of the 6th. And Andrew, as we were touching on, the 8 wins in a row for the Chinooks, it took 12 days from the beginning of this season till the 8th win of the year that was capped off at the end of that 8-game winning streak on June 23rd. It then took 34 days to win 8 more games. Swing and a miss by Diaz, and it just kind of
sums it all up.
I really don't know what you can't really, you can overanalyze and everything, but kind of wild. It took 3 times as long to win the same amount of games. There's a pitch outside to Armstrong.
I mean, and truly, it's just a fact that we didn't really play the Matsu Miners during the win streak.
Very true.
Not one time.
Very true. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, and a team that
Pilots got better.
Yeah,
got swept by the Oilers.
Team that just won 7 out of 24 contests within the division. Hard to compete on that. Here's the 1-2 swing and a high fly ball. Medium deep right field. Jacob Ropes ranging over near the line for the 2nd out of this inning. And so you got Alex Rodriguez bio pulled up on your screen over there, Andrew. He's 40 today.
Mm-hmm.
The home run king, Barry Bonds, turned 51 just a couple days ago.
HBD. Happy birthday.
Hard to believe that guys like that are aging
I mean, he's got
aging so much, so fast.
677 home runs. If he could keep it up for like 2 more years, he might pass Babe Ruth. I mean, yeah,
he'll
kind of a stretch, but
it looks like he'll easily cruise into 700.
yeah.
Here's the 0-1, and that's
What
going to
is
be
it,
downstairs.
714 for Ruth.
Ruth is at 714.
Aaron 755.
And then
And then-
762 for Barry Bonds. So he would have to probably play another 3 years to even touch Barry. And that's having down years. Here's a pitch the other way and into left field. There's Cameron Baranek. He makes the grab head high for out number 3. So another scoreless inning for Shane Armstrong. And, that was kind of something that might have played into the factor for the Anaheim Angels going and getting Albert Pujols when he was a free agent. Probably the biggest bomb that was ever dropped in free agency, and that was 4 years ago. And he's on a very good pace to do it. And yeah, who knows? Maybe when
How old's Pujols?
a few years. I think he's in his mid to upper 30s right now. But guys like I saw that Mike Trout now has 30 home runs, and he's done that in all 3 of his first 3 years. And having a very promising start to his career. Certainly, if he can,
Trout could be the greatest of all time.
if he could stay healthy, if he could stay healthy and keep this pace, he could be up there. And that's the thing with Trout is he kind of overshadows a player that might be just equally as talented as Bryce Harper. They both came in the league the exact same time. He has a couple years. He is a year younger. And Harper,
I think it's a likability thing too. You know what I mean? I mean, Bryce Harper kind of has this attitude to him where he kind of comes off like he's a me guy, whereas Mike Trout's just America's.
Yeah, it's also East Coast versus West Coast also.
That's true.
But both guys crisscrossing the country to play. Harper from Vegas and a New Jersey guy for Mike Trout. I see where your bias might be. Here's David Morton. He'll lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Chinooks. First pitch, missing inside, and actually nips the corner from Connor Dotson. Dotson, very impressive outing so far, 5+. A run on 3 hits. Here's the 0-1. Morton grounds it to first base under the glove of Arrowwood. And since I heard him yesterday,
Got it.
David Morton with a sing-eye single through the hole on the right side of the infield.
A base hit.
So he'll get his base hit back.
There you go.
He came over to the house last night and would not speak to me for about good 5-10 minutes, but we loosened him up a little bit and get a ping pong paddle in his hand, and he gets pretty talkative. There's a first pitch outside, ball 1 to Jacob Ropst.
Well, he's actually he tries too hard in ping pong. If you ever played with him,
I have been yet to see the matchup between him and Caden Owens, and we might not get to. Ropst hits this one the other way towards left field or right field, laying out is Brian Room and makes the grab.
Robbed right there.
Jacob Ropst breaking the bat on the swing. And what could have been extra bases if that got down. Room with a great catch. Diving towards the line and right. That brings up Cameron Baranek. Baranek, 0 for 2 today. Here's the first offering. Baranek squares the bunts, drops at third base side, but it'll go wide of the line for strike 1. I want to get an age on him.
Age. No. 35.
35, so still 6 years on that contract still after this season.
And he's at 549 unless he get a home run today.
He still has to average, you'd say 30 at least. For
30 home runs a year for 6 years, and
he'd be over. Talking about Albert Pujols, and that home run title over the course of career, very controversial the last few years, and trying to get a clean champion at the top. Here's the 0-1, and Baranek takes that inside for ball 1. And
so that makes me sick to my stomach seeing A-Rod
get
up there.
you would. A-Rod would want to. I saw this number. I don't know the exact number, but he did hit home runs, major league home runs in his teens, 20s, 30s, and now his 40s.
A-Rod was up at 19, right?
He was. He and Griffey and then Trout, or not Trout, but Harper was as well. So Harper could be a guy, if he keeps healthy and has the longevity, he can make it. Here's the 1-2 downstairs, 2-2. But the problem with A-Rod, that I could probably see happening, you think about the health, that steroids will break down the body. Could be what we're seeing with Alex Rodriguez and all of his injuries. And Baranek rams one down the right side, but it'll go foul. Staying at 2-2. And Chinooks still trailing by 2. We're in the bottom of inning number 6. And even another thing we're starting to see is the upward trend in Tommy John. And there's a swing and a miss by Baranek. He goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. And that was something we saw touched on in the Hall of Fame speech by John Schmaltz. And how true is that? He's making the statement that baseball should not be treated year round like it is so many times, and so many sports are. I saw an article out of Northwest Ohio about even hockey players. Here's Andrew Mogg hitting with 2 outs. That's outside for ball 1. And so many times that I see people thinking, oh, you got to play one sport to really be truly great at it. But if you play multiple things, you'll have athleticism in different areas and put it together in one that you're really good at a certain age. 1-0, Andrew Mogg hits this one high and deep to right center. Going back is the center fielder, James Folks, ranges into right center, makes the grab for out number 3. And after 6 innings of play, the Chinooks still trailing the Oilers 3-1. We'll hold on to that thought. It'll be an interesting conversation the rest of the way about the health and how do you treat your youngsters.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back with more Chinooks baseball.
Welcome back to Chinooks Baseball. Andrew, Alex, Garrett, and Mansfield here at Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak, Alaska. The Chinooks trailing by a score of 3-1. Here in the top of the 7th inning, the Chinooks trying to pick up their 3rd straight victory, but trailing in this game after a little bit of a blow-up. Top of the 4th for Lucas Hamlink, and combine that with just kind of a sheer lack of offense from the Fish side. He puts us in a 3-1 ball game. Shane Armstrong on to work another, and he falls behind quickly in this count, 2-0. Armstrong from Hillsdale College. He will head to the Australian Winter League, independent minor league baseball in Australia. If that doesn't make you jealous, I don't know what will. Sounds like the life. And Shane puts one in there for a called strike, so that makes the count 3-1.
Former Chinook Brock Collins is out there right now.
Really? A 3-1 pitch. And check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. So Shane Armstrong makes the count full. James Folks from the University of South Carolina upstate. Armstrong sets, delivers, and Folks fouls that one back towards the Chinook shack. Three-two, and Folks fouls that one off again. So the count stays full. James Folks working the count here against Shane Armstrong, a guy who has plenty of rest in him right now. And Folks rips that one into right field. Jacob Ropes coming under it, makes the grab. Out number 1. Around the Alaska Baseball League right now, it's the top of the 7th in Palmer. Miners with a 6-0 lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. So kiss that winning streak goodbye. The Gold Panthers won the first of their doubleheader in Fairbanks. I mean, the Bucks won. The Gold Panthers never win. Like Garrett said, the Bucks inching closer and closer to locking up the American League and setting up what should be a very good top of the World Series. That'll be played in Palmer. Herman Brothers Field. So the count 0-1 here. The batter, J.D. Arrowwood. And Arrowwood pops that one up infield. Coming under it, Will Bass. And Hunter Hanks actually makes the grab. And that is out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for Shane Armstrong. A guy who will be pitching among kangaroos. Living on the beach with some shrimp on the bobby. But before he can do that, he's going to have to pitch to Ted Boeke. Ted Boeke lays down a bunt, goes down the third base line. Coming in is Patrick Cromwell. He picks it up, throws on to first, and that's going to be not in time. A bunt single for Ted Boeke, and now the Oilers have a man aboard. That's their 4th hit of the ball game. All it took was a couple walks and a couple base hits, and that counts for the 3 runs for the Peninsula Oilers, all coming in the top of the 4th. And the Chinooks trail 3-1. And they have 9 outs to try to produce some kind of offense here and give themselves a chance to win this ball game. But Jimmy Galuski, the batter. Armstrong sets, delivers, and that one finds the zone, a called strike. Oh, 1. Armstrong with the pickoff attempt. Galuski 0 for 2 on the day. Oh, 1. Armstrong the pitch. And that one's grounded. A fair ball down the third base line. Just really touched the bag. Coming from second and going to third. And now coming home is Ted Boeke, and the Oilers add one more, a 4-1 lead over the Chinooks. And you talk about a game of inches. And that ball just landed on the bag. It looked the entire way down the line like that ball's going to drop foul, but just hit the perfect spot. And that was basically kind of reminiscent of the RBI double from Niles Nygaard back against the Matsu Miners. An infield pop-up first pitch. Hunter Hanks coming under it, makes the grab for out number 3. And that retires the side, but the Oilers, 1 run on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard, and after 7.5 innings, or 6.5 innings, The score is 4-1 Oilers. We're going to take a break. You're listening to Chinooks Radio.
At the plate for your Chinooks, number 32, Caleb Potter.
So back here for the bottom of the 7th inning, Andrew Alex, Garrett Mansfield. Those are our names, and we are at a 4-1 game in favor of the Peninsula Oilers. Caleb Potter to the plate. First pitch from his teammate Connor Dotson, who's out here working his 7th inning. That one's in there for a called strike. Potter, with probably his best contact of the year, his last time up, just ripped single to center field. The 0-1, and Potter grounds that one to the third baseman, Ted Boakey. He throws on to first in time for out number 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just heard from the Chinook chat that hot dogs and hamburgers are now half price.
You know, if you're a Chinooks fan and you come to these games, it is in your best interest to just wait. Hot dogs and hamburgers are always half off at the end of the game. Save yourself a couple dollars over the course of a year. But now Will Bass to the plate with one down here, still 4-1 Oilers. And Bass goes after the first pitch, grounds it right to second. The throw on to first will be in time. So 2 outs quickly. And now Braxton Wilkes comes to the plate. Braxton Wilkes, his walk-up song right now is Your Love, one of those 80s songs. I love that song. It reminds me of my old job at a tennis shack. I'm not going to get too deep into that because it's just a stupid story, but some classic rock. Good choice by Braxton. Braxton takes the first pitch in there for a called strike. Wilkes, he's headed to Abilene Christian next year. That's the alma mater of his parents. Division I program in Texas. And the 0-1 pitch from Braxton Wilkes, or to Braxton Wilkes, finds the zone. Of course, 0-1 pitches do come from Braxton Wilkes as well. He's a two-way guy, and he's had a ton of success on the mound for the Fish this season. The 0-2, and Wilkes grounds that one up the line in the hole past the glove of Jimmy Gillespie into center field for a base hit. Braxton Wilkes with his first hit of the day. And now Hunter Hanks to the plate with a runner on and 2 outs.
Batting for the Chinooks, number 12, Hunter Hanks.
Hanks steps into the box, swings and misses at the first pitch. Hanks 0 for 2 on the day. He struck out his last time up. And Hunter Hanks rips that one into deep left field, but coming under it at the warning track to make the grab is Bennett Oliver. That is out number 3. So after the 7th inning, the Chinooks with no runs on 1 hit and 1 man left aboard, and it is 4-1 Oilers after 7. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Chinooks Radio. So to the top of the 8th we go. The score 4-1. Peninsula Oilers. Shane Armstrong out for another inning. The line for Armstrong so far today, 3 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run. He struck out 2. Armstrong finds the zone there, evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. Shane on the season, 2-1 with a 2.19 ERA. Just an impressive year for the man from Marysville, Michigan. Now the count 1-2 after he gets a swing and a miss there. 1-2 pitch. And that one, a ball on the outside, gets under the legs of Andrew Mogg. And the speedy Tybeck going out and grabbing the ball. Tybeck, a legend in his own right. But the count evens up at 2-2. Armstrong sets, delivers, and that one just misses off the plate. Brings the count full. And Shane Armstrong, he had gone 10 innings pitched. Plus, he had gone 12 innings without allowing an earned run before allowing that earned run back in the top of the 7th. But that's a 4-pitch, well, not a 4-pitch walk, that's a walk. Delusionally sick. The pitch, first pitch there, fouled off. The batter is Mark Sanchez. The Sanchez, and he fouls that first pitch off. 0-1 the count. Armstrong, he delivers. And Sanchez rips that one into left field, but Cam Baronic, after almost looked like he misread it in the air, but comes back around and makes the grab. That's out number 1. So Brent Diaz to the plate. Diaz on the day. 1 for 3. He scored a run. Guy coming into the game batting .237 on the year. And he makes a comebacker right to the pitcher. Armstrong goes to second for 1. The throw to first for 2 will be in time. A double play. A 1-6-3 double play. Ends the top of the 8th inning, and we are in the middle of 8. And the score still 4-1 Peninsula Oilers. We'll be right back. You're listening to Chinooks Radio. Like a discount. Back to the bottom of the 8th inning we go. And Patrick Cromwell to the plate. The first pitch from a new pitcher, Sean Michael, in the zone for a called strike. Cromwell, the third baseman out of Santa Ana, he's 0 for 3 on the day. 0-1 the count. And Michael misses low there, evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. The Chinooks trail in this game 4-1 to the Peninsula Oilers. The pitch. And that one missing low and inside brings the count to 2-1. And that one missing again. So the count goes 3-1. And Chris Bryan hits his first walk-off home run, a 2-out, 2-run shot in the 9th after the Cubs lost their lead. That's a 9-8 win over the Colorado Rockies. And Garrett, what do you think about Chris Bryant? One of those emerging stars in this league. We talked about Harper and Trout earlier.
Well, certainly has the ability to do so. He's in the right market for it. But I would say for me, the jury is still out there, but an incredible talent. I mean, the National League is just, is a little quieter to me. I don't know why that is, but I mean, between him and all the guys coming up, it's been the year of the prospect, and it really, really has been. Lots of guys, lots of teams, number 1 prospects, have come up this season.
And David Morton grounds the first pitch he sees to the second baseman. The throw on to first will be in time. David Morton grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. Maybe the ball don't lie here. But, you think about prospects and up-and-coming guys, and you got to talk about the Mets rotation at that point, DeGrom.
A lot of them are – a lot of teams' top prospects, depending on what it could be moved by the end of the week.
DeGrom, Syndergaard, Matt Harvey, Zach Wheeler.
I remember – and sometimes you just never know. Sometimes these guys come up and they have a good year, and the sophomore slump, of course, and
and injuries, obviously, that'll play into it. That's something you got to fear. And the interesting pattern we've been seeing is, you'll see, and we saw this with the Padres over the offseason, trading an injured prospect to the Braves for Justin Upton, or was it BJ Upton? One of those Uptons.
Yeah, I'm getting both of them.
Yeah, I just don't know which one they traded the injured prospect for. But he was like their top prospect or one of their top prospects, and he was injured at the time, just coming off Tommy John, and the Braves said, okay, we'll take him. But what about what the Padres did, right?
We thought they would have rebuilt a team in a year, but it has been a dumpster fire.
Yeah, it's been a struggle. 3-2 the count to Jacob Brost, and Brost takes that on the outside, ball 4. So trotting over to first with a walk is Jacob Brost, and now Cam Baronic to the plate with the Chinooks trailing 4-1. A runner on first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Sometimes, with the trade deadline coming up, sometimes these deals, they make some guys look like geniuses. Some guys look a little foolish.
And Baronic takes that one into left field for a base hit. So now the Chinooks have 2 on, and the tying run comes to the plate in Andrew Mogg. And, if he gets a hold of one, it could be a tie ball game in one swing of the bat. Of course, we haven't seen him do that since the middle of that 8-game winning streak. But the potential still very much there. So Andrew Mogg to the plate. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. And the Fish trailing by 3 to the Peninsula Oilers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Filipino phenom from Virginia Tech. First pitch. And Mogg takes that into right field. A base hit coming around third to score is Jacob Ropes. The throw to the plate will be not in time. An RBI single for Andrew Mogg, and the Fish have added another. Now they trail in this game 4-2, and it's runners at first and third for Caleb Potter.
Batting for your Chinooks, number 32, Caleb Potter.
So Potter to the plate, runners at first and third. Potter, he's 1 for 2 today, also been hit by a pitch. Michael sets, delivers, and that one's low and inside, ball 1. The Fish trail by 2, but the tying run is at first base in Andrew Mogg. All Caleb Potter needs to do is hit a home run, and the Fish will be in the lead. And he could do a lot of that against Taylor White, throwing at 50 miles per hour. And he did it a couple times at West Virginia this season. He had 5 home runs with the Mountaineers. Potter takes low and away. The count of 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Caleb Potter. What a time it would be for that first home run of the season.
Parents in attendance.
Parents
Team
in
down
attendance.
two men on.
The 2-1 pitch. And that one gets past the glove of the catcher, Brett Diaz. Coming in from third to score is Cam Baronic. And a crucial mistake there by Sean Michael. Now the score is 4-3. Peninsula Oilers, and the tying run now at second base. A 3-1 count to Caleb Potter. And you know, a base hit could tie this game, Garrett. Anything into the valley-sized gaps here at Lee Jordan Field will bring home the Filipino phenom. With the count, 3 balls, 1 strike, the pitch to Potter, and Potter swings and misses at that one. A full count now to the runners. The runner and Andrew Mogg's going to go. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
If anything, they have cut into the challenge it could be in the bottom of the 9th if there is one.
The pitch, and Potter grounds that one sharply down the third base line. A fair ball! Andrew Mogg rounding third and coming home to score. And Andrew Mogg comes in to score a stand-up double for Caleb Potter, and the Fish have tied this game at 4. A 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 8th inning has plated 3 runs for the Chinooks, and we are all tied up. An RBI double for Caleb Potter. And out to the mound comes the manager for the Oilers, and Sean Michael. His day is done, and we're going to step off. But it looks like Paul Lujan's going to come on. We'll be right back after the pitching change. You listen to Chinooks Radio.
Will Bass.
And we are back here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Chinooks have tied this game at 4, an RBI double from Caleb Potter. And now Potter stands at second with 2 outs. Paul Lujan, the pitcher, and Will Bass to the plate, trying to bring home Caleb Potter, who represents the go-ahead run in this ball game. First pitch to Will Bass, a breaking ball, finds the strike zone for a called strike 1. So 0-1 the count, but Paul Lujan, a guy who's pitched very well for the Oilers this season from, I believe it's West Texas A&M. A guy that, really hurt the Chinooks during their trip to Kenai. 0-1 the count, the pitch. And Lujan's fastball misses upstairs. Evens the count up, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the count, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs here. The pitch. And that one, breaking ball, missing upstairs. The count goes 2-1. It looks like Potter's jabbering with his roommate over there, taking his lead at second base. The pitch, and Bass fouls that one right back to the backstop. The count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes. Will Bass has already got a hit today. He's 1 for 3. The pitch. And that one just misses on the outside. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runner in Caleb Potter is going to go, and a base hit from Will Bass could give, or should give, the Chinooks a lead. 4-4 the score. Bottom of the 8th inning, the 3-2 pitch coming here. And swinging a miss, strike 3. Will Bass goes down swinging, and that ends the inning. But the Chinooks, with 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 man left aboard. And after 8 innings of baseball, we are all tied up at 4 runs apiece. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Chinooks Radio.
Moving on to the 9th inning of play, Chinooks and the Oilers still tied at 4. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the team from Kenai, and 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the hometown Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. Shane Armstrong still on the hill, delivers breaking ball, strike 1 to Bennett Oliver. It'll be Oliver, James Folks, and J.D. Arrowwood to hit in this one. Little bit, and actually hits the outside corner. Good pitch from Shane Armstrong. Goes down 0-2 early. Armstrong, 4 2/3 innings of work, a run on just 2 hits and 2 strikeouts. Travis Stone warming up in the bullpen if needed. Here's the 0-2. A little bit low and away, ball 1. Chinooks have been walked off 3 times this season, but also have 2 last at-bat victories for themselves, and that's a base hit under a diving Hunter Hanks at short into center field. The ball goes. 6th hit of the day for the Oilers, and that's a leadoff hit here in the top of the 9th inning for Bennett Oliver. I'll bring up James Folks. Folks is 0 for 2 with a walk. Just the 3rd hit off of Shane Armstrong today. Another strong performance in relief. You know, we kind of hinted on Lucas Hammelink. The key would be 3 runs or less. There's a square to bunt. It's a strike. The throwback behind the runner, not in time. Hammelink is 0-3 when he allows 4 runs or more. All the rest of his starts, giving up 2 or less. There's the bunt down the third base line, but it goes foul. That's strike 2. That's a big one. Nobody out. Still the runner over at first base is Bennett Oliver with that single. The top of the 9th inning, the walk-ups for the Chinooks, they've been walked off twice by the Oilers, once by the Miners. They had an extra inning win on the road to better the Anchorage Bucks back on June 22nd, and then an extra inning win over the Miners just a few days ago. There's a line drive to the shortstop, Hunter Hanks. He makes the grab for out number 1. Back to first is Oliver.
So now James Folks coming to the plate. Folks 0 for 2 on the day. He's also check that, J.D. Arrowwood coming to the plate. That was James Folks. So Arrowwood 0 for 3 on the day. He is an RBI. That came on a sac fly. Arrowwood grounds the first pitch right back to Braxton Wilkes for out number 2. The runner at first advancing over to second base. So now 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. And the batter's going to be Ted Boki. Boki, he's 1 for 3 on the day. He is, or 2 for 3 on the day. He's scored a run. And Boki, a guy who's hit 3 home runs this season for the Oilers. And it looks like Taylor White's going to come out and make a pitching change. And it's Travis Stone warming up in the bullpen. And this could be the day. Taylor White takes the ball, and Stoney's going to get the call. So Travis Stone coming for the Chinooks. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning, a tie ball game, runner on second. We'll be right back after the pitching warm-up. You will be listening to Chinooks Radio, and you still are. So Travis Stone in for the Chinooks. 2 outs, top of the ninth. We are deadlocked at 4. A runner at second for the Oilers, and the batter that Travis Stone will be tasked with getting out is Ted Boeke. Boeke has 3 home runs on the season. The Chinooks, with a 3-run rally in the bottom of the 8th, have given them a new life, and Boeke rips the first ball foul down the first base line. Boeke's stats on the season: batting .198, has 18 hits, 4 doubles, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. He struck out 24 times. That is second most, or third most, on the Peninsula Oilers. If Boeke can't get it done, Jimmy Galuski is in the on-deck circle. 0-1 the count to Boeke. And he takes on the outside. Ball 1. Just missing there is Travis Stone. Stone struck out 6 in his last outing. He comes into the game with a 2.41 ERA. The pitch. And Stone sails it in there for a called strike. This is Stone's 11th appearance on the season. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. A tie game in the top of the ninth. Stone sets, delivers, and swing and a miss. Strike 3. Travis Stone strikes out Ted Boeke to close the door on the Massey Miners in the top of the ninth. So we're going to head to the bottom of the ninth. And I got really excited there. Well, it's because I'm looking at the word minors. You know, delusion is a thing, and I'm starting to think this common cold is getting me to see things. Like, was that not Juan Hanan who just batted? Nah, I kid, though. Apologies for that mistake. I wish it was the Miners. But we are here in the bottom of the ninth inning. I'm sorry, folks, if I've been a little bit off today. Me and Garrett both have a cold. Just real sick, but the show must go on. And the show has gone on here. And Braxton Wilkes, Hunter Hanks, and Patrick Cromwell coming up here in the bottom of the ninth for the Chinooks, barring any pinch hitting situations that Taylor White could come up with. Of course, this is Taylor White's last game as the manager for the Chinooks. Cody Crutcher will manage them for the rest of the season. He started as bench coach. Started from the bottom. Now we at. So Braxton Wilkes to the plate to face Paul Lujan. Paul Lujan, he struck out. Will Bass to shut the door on the Chinook rally in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch. And swing and a miss there from Braxton Wilkes. Wilkes on the day. Having a 1-for-2 day. He also has an RBI. That was on a sac fly back in the bottom of the 2nd. One and one the count, the pitch. And that one's low. Moves the count to 2-1. The Chinooks, it would be awesome if they won this game to get a little walk-off magic against the Oilers. And Braxton Wilkes grounds that one lightly to the second baseman. Dig, but not in time. So that is out number 1 on the 4-3 ground out. That's going to bring Hunter Hanks to the plate. Hanks is 0-for-3 on the day with a strikeout. Lujan, he sets, delivers the first pitch, and that one's low and inside, ball one. The 1-0. That one finds the zone. A called strike evens the count up 1-1. Paul Lujan, he sets, delivers, and swing and a miss there. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Deadlocked at 4. The Chinooks with 4 runs on 8 hits. The Oilers with 4 runs on 5 hits. 1-2 pitch. Big breaking ball missing upstairs. Hunter Hanks from Lipscomb University. Paul Lujan from West Texas A&M. 2-2. And that one missing on the outside. And you know, the Chinooks need to get a guy on some way, somehow. The 3-2 pitch coming here from Paul Lujan. He delivers, and Hunter Hanks grounds that one foul down the first base line. Taylor White barehanding it at third base. Hey, coach. So now the 3-2 pitch coming yet again. After that foul ball keeps that alive. The 3-2. And Hanks, did he go? Appeal to first says he did. And that is strike 3. The appeal to first base says that Hunter Hanks went around. So call it strike 3, and now there is 2 down. Hanks was about a quarter of the way to first base before the first base umpire made that decision. And now Patrick Cromwell to the plate with 2 outs. First pitch to Patrick Cromwell in there for a called strike 1. The 1-1 pitch. And that one misses low. In the dirt, actually got by the catcher, Brent Diaz. So the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. With 2 outs here on Patrick Cromwell. And Cromwell hits that ball to the shortstop, Jimmy Galuski. Galuski turns, throws over to first in time. That is out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Paul Lujan. No runs on no hits and nobody left aboard for the Chinooks. And we have played 9 innings of baseball, and it is not enough. Still tied at 4. We're going into extras. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Chinooks Radio. Yes, I am. Jimmy Galuski to the plate here in the top of the 10th inning. Travis Stone, he shut the door on the Oilers back in the bottom of the 9th, and he throws a big first pitch strike. Somehow gets the fans to go crazy. Just strike 1. Of course, the Chinooks cheering section is one of the most funny, awesome things in the Alaska Baseball League. Here's the 0-1 from Travis Stone, and that ball, a grounder to short, gets right under the glove of Hunter Hanks. So an error on Hunter Hanks. And now the Peninsula Oilers with a man aboard. And Brian Room coming to the plate. You know, holding the Oilers scoreless is going to be so key here in the top of the 10th because the Chinooks with Dave Morton, Jacob Brose, Cam Baronic, and if any of those guys can get on and extend the inning, Andrew Mogg. That's going to give him a shot to win. First pitch to Brian Room. In there for a called strike. Room 0 for 4 on the day. Struck out twice. And he shows bunting. He bunts that one perfectly down the first base line. Travis Stone picks it up, throws on to first in time. But the sacrifice is successful as Jimmy Galuski advances over to second base. And now it's going to be Alex Seifert. Alex Seifert today. He's 0 for 2, but he's walked twice. Seifert from Jacksonville University. First pitch to Seifert, missing on the inside, ball 1. Jimmy Galuski on second with 1 out, the Fish and the Oilers deadlocked at 4 here in the top of the 10th inning. 1-0 the count, the pitch, and that one's grounded right up the hole into center field. The ball, David Morton, he's going to throw home. The throw to the plate will be not nearly anywhere on the mark. So the Oilers played a run. A stand-up double from Alex Seifert, and now they have a 5-4 lead here in the top of the 10th inning, 1 out. And the batter is going to be Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez, 1 for 4. He has an RBI, and he's scored a run. First pitch, and that one finds the zone, a called strike. 0-1 is your count. How big is that error on Hunter Hanks? Come back to hurt you now. So Travis Stone misses there. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Top 10, 5-4. Peninsula Oilers. And that ball finds the zone. Brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sanchez from Cal Baptist. And he fouls that one. Staying alive in this count. Sanchez has struck out once so far today. The 1-2. And that one's grounded to the shortstop, Hunter Hanks, who cannot handle the ball. So call it another error on Hunter Hanks. His second of the inning over at shortstop. And how uncharacteristic is that of Hunter Hanks? A pair of errors. So it's runners at first and third for Brent Diaz. Diaz is 1 for 4 on the day. He scored a run. First pitch. And that one's on the outside. Ball 1. One and 0 the count. The pitch. That one finds the zone for a called strike. And that one's grounded right back to the pitcher, Stone. He's going to go home, and they're going to try to get him in a rundown. And he's caught in a pickle, and they make the tag. And that's going to be out number 2, so call it a fielder's choice. And a big spot to get the lead runner there, because that could have plated another run. So 2 outs, 2 on for Bennett Oliver. Oliver's 1 for 2 on the day. With an RBI, he's walked once. Oliver, a guy who's batting .220 this season. First pitch to Oliver, that's inside, ball 1. And a sky-high pop-up, Patrick Cromwell at third. He's coming under in foul ground, makes the grab for out number 3, but the Oilers add 1 run. And the Chinooks need to score 1 to extend this game, need 2 to win. We'll be right back. You're listening to Chinooks Radio. Do not go anywhere. Bottom of the 10th inning, and Dave Morton coming to the plate, trying to keep the Chinooks alive in this ball game. They trail by 1 after the Oilers added 1 in the top of the first. Dave Morton with a hard bunt down the third base line, but the throw from the third baseman Bokey is in time. He got a good charge on that one, and now 1 down. Not the best bunt that Dave Morton has ever laid down there, and a strong throw from Bokey. Got him easily over at first base. Now it's going to be Jacob Brose to the plate. Now the Chinooks trail by 1, so they need 1 run to keep this game alive. Brose swings at the first pitch, but he fouls that one towards the Oiler dugout. Nothing in 1 the count. Ty Beck going to grab that ball. Oh, 1 pitch, bounces in the dirt, ends up jumping over the head of Brent Diaz. And if you look at the hacks that Cam Baronic's taking in the on-deck circle, you know what he's trying to do his next time up. 1-1 pitch. And that one just finds the outside corner of the plate for a called strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes With one out here in the bottom of the 10th, the Chinooks trailing by 1 on the verge of losing this game, but you get a guy on and a home run wins it. The 2-2 pitch. And Lujan missing way outside. Now, Paul Lujan actually going to his senior year at West Texas A&M. And a very impressive summer that he's had with the Oilers. And Broke swings and misses. So now the Chinooks down to their last hope, and that hope is physically represented in Cam Baranek. Baranek on the day.
Stepping up to the plate for your Chinooks, number 7, Cameron Baranek.
1 for 4. He scored once, struck out twice. First pitch to Baranek. In there for a called strike. Wow. Wow. Crazy baseball stuff going on in the pros. Nothing in 1 to count. First pitch. Breaking ball finds the zone for a called strike. So Jose Reyes Jr. at the bench. Yeah. 0-2 the count. The pitch to Baranek, and Baranek just gets a piece of that one. So the count, nothing into, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom 10, the Chinooks trail by 1, and Cam Baranek needs to get on some way, somehow, to keep this game alive. The 0-2 pitch, and Baranek, a chop swing. That's in foul ground. Ted Boakey under it, makes the grab for out number 3, and that is all she wrote here tonight, folks. The final score: Peninsula Oilers 5, the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks 4. It took 10 innings, but the Chinooks coming up short in a close game against the Oilers yet again in Garrett Mansfield. Any last thoughts? Because I'm about to die.
Well, I mean, they really played. They had. I can't spit it out, but they fought till the very end, and that 8th inning was very, very impressive. 2 outs, and almost you think about what could have been. They had a leadoff walk, then a double play, and then they proceeded to have a 3-run inning, all with 2 outs, but will come up just shy and will lose their 4th of 5 games they have played this season against the Peninsula Oilers before they take the ceremonial handshake before, as they play their last game against each other this year.
So the final score, it took 10 innings. Peninsula Oilers 5, Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks 4. And, me and Garrett are both very sick. So we're just going to cut the post-game show out of it. But I'm going to get my NyQuil in me, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, on Wednesday. 6 p.m. Alaska Daylight Time as the Chinooks take on the Anchorage Bucks in their second-to-last series of the year. There will be 2 more against the Bucks and 2 against the Glacier Pilots, and then we can call it a year here in Chugiak. But still 4 great games of baseball left to play, and we'll bring you all of them. I am Andrew Alex. He is Garrett Mansfield, and goodbye. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen.